stores information about the whole image. If you break a hologram into multiple pieces, you have multiple holograms, each bearing information about the whole image.
And that is important for the Shroud of Turin also, because the upper arms are missing because of a fire in 1532. So if, what I believe, there's holographic information in the shroud, you would be able to activate that. You would see the whole body of the man in the shroud, including the missing upper arms.
Testing is still being done to determine if, in fact, the shroud image does carry holographic information. Dr. Soons has already seen rings on the latest hologram of the shroud image, suggesting that this may be the case. Perhaps, in the not-too-distant future, we may be able to create a full, unblemished hologram from a very small area of the shroud's image. Indication of this can come from a single fibril.
Having had a chance to examine the holograms, we asked both Dr. Alan Wanger and Tom DiMahala to tell us if there's anything there they hadn't seen before, to give us their impressions of the new data.
The hologram does a remarkable job of emphasizing certain features on the shroud. It gives an astonishing three-dimensional aspect to this. It makes some of the features much more prominent, particularly the scourge marks that we see front and back are astonishingly revealed in the holograms. Also, we see certain parts of the body, such as the toes, some of the hair, and actually we think that possibly one of the elbows on the holograms, which are not really that apparent on the regular photographs.
The discovery of the plaque around the neck is particularly significant. And being able to identify and translate the letters into a meaningful phrase suggests not only who this person was, but who and what the people of that time believed him to be. Slowly but surely, science seems to be giving us the closest thing to literal proof of biblical history the world has ever seen. There are other things as well. For example, we can clearly see there is no distortion of the dorsal or backside image. The fact supports Isabel Pitzig's theory of a true event horizon. Had the body been lying on rock when the image was formed, distortion would have been unavoidable. There are several remarkable attributes to the shroud evident here that aren't discussed very much. The most obvious is that it is still here, that it has survived through fire, flood, and the ravages of time. And even though it has presented the faithful and scientists alike with considerable challenges, it still has a message for all mankind. The more we work with it, the more we discover, and the more we come to realize that this could be a record of the literal resurrection of Jesus Christ.
The shroud is the most astonishing object that's in existence, most intentionally studied, and the one that has the most important information for we human beings. We have no question but this is Jesus of Nazareth, and we feel that the event, which occurred approximately 30 to 36 hours after death, with the body disappearing within the folded shroud, indicates that some unique event, which we call a resurrection, had taken place. Probably the most pivotal event in history, which is exemplified and witnessed by the shroud.
At least as far as the Shroud of Turin is concerned, science, once thought to be the enemy of all things religious, now seems to be enjoying a new role as partner in uncovering the truth. But regardless of the scientific, archaeological, or theological determinations, people have come to their own conclusions about the shroud, what it is and where it came from, and the meaning it holds for them. At this point in time, it seems unlikely that carbon-14 tests or polarized light microscopes or any of the other so-called tests advanced by the skeptics will do much to change their conclusions.
Probabilmente questo dono viene direttamente da Gesù.
Probably this gift comes directly from Jesus, if we also want to say that it appeared at a certain moment of history. And meanwhile, we are not able to explain the origin of the image, which continues to be a great mystery.
Un grande mistero.
The shroud always remains an instrument of providence, given to the Church to announce in a rather more sensitive way, also in an exterior way, that great mystery of a love that could not be greater.
But could it be that the image on the shroud is telling us there is something beyond death?
Until modern times, Science has not concerned itself too much with how we know what we know. It's based upon information, but science has not looked at the subjective experience, nor exactly how we perceive what we perceive. But this quantum holographic development and understanding is changing all of that. That helps us get a new handle on how information is utilized in living organisms, something we've never had before.
The researchers and scientists continue to explore all possibilities, and the Shroud of Turin has apparently given the scientific world a whole new quantum paradigm to think about. This astonishing artifact has brought to light a whole new world of scientific and religious possibilities. Is the Shroud of Turin, in fact, a physical and scientific record of what has been regarded up until now as a purely spiritual event, the literal resurrection of Jesus Christ? Could it be, as Dame Pitsick suggests, the evidence of a new beginning and the threshold of a revolution in physics that can open the door to the meaning of the universe? Or does it suggest the existence of some unknown force still waiting to be explored? For 2 millennia, the mysterious image on this piece of cloth has comforted the faithful and puzzled the skeptic. Now, with hundreds of thousands of man-hours devoted to scientific analysis of the shroud, perhaps we can draw some conclusions. Since nothing even remotely approaching the image on the shroud has ever been found, it seems fair to suggest the image was intended to be a message to mankind. And if all of this is true, wouldn't that suggest the message of the shroud might simply be a message of hope? As each new scientific discovery enhances the meaning of the image of the shroud, it seems to be saying, look closer. I have given truth to the world. Bring it into the light. Could it be that the haunting beauty of the hologram is the final clue to the true identity of the man portrayed by the image on the Shroud of Turin?